I finished Attack on Titan last night, and the first time I saw the ending, I didn't look at things on a deep level. I just wanted to see what happened to Eren. The way they advertised it was piss poor and confusing, having people wait and wait. My anticipation kept growing. All I ended up caring about is how Eren would be defeated. I wanted him to be defeated. Eren had to go. But I wanted to watch Attack on Titan again to talk about the ending. Before the ending, I wanted to try to see what other people's reaction to the ending would be without spoiling it for myself, because the first time I saw it, I wasn't really paying attention to what Eren was saying to Armin. Most of the climactic battle has escaped my memory, and it seems this iconic anime has split the fan base in half. One side, people love it, the other side, people hate it. And I would say I'm on the side that hates it, but hate's a strong word. I do have some issues. Alright, after Mikasa beheads Eren, see Eren and Armin as kids talking. Eren is telling Armin what he did to him and Mikasa. It was all because he wanted to push them away, turn them against him, so that the people on the outside, the walls, would revere them as heroes. Not just Mikasa and Armin, everybody else, John and Connie, Reiner, right? Because they're aliens and they're hated by the world. Maybe stopping Eren, who's trampling the world, they'll probably be seen as good aliens. And then he talks to Armin about Ymir. Ymir's home was burned down and her parents were killed by this awful character in the show, King Fritz. King Fritz tries to kill Ymir, but she ends up going into this tree, falls into this water that's inside the tree. This tentacle thing, I guess, is a Titan, the founding Titan, fuses with her. She ends up becoming the founding Titan once she has her newfound powers. King Fritz uses her newfound powers to conquer lands and grow the Eldian Empire. As I'm watching the episode that introduces us to Ymir, I'm thinking, why does she not use her powers to smash King Fritz's head along with the rest of his army? But she throws herself in front of a spear. One of King Fritz's servants tries to kill him. So she sacrifices herself to save Fritz. And I'm thinking, why? Why did she do that? Did she see that as her ticket to escape the life that she was living? Is it because she had feelings for the guy? Right? Are you serious? She actually loved the dude? You know, there's a tiny bit of realism to this, because women have been known for choosing bad partners. Now, granted, this is to the extreme. I don't care if he burns down my house, I still love him. I don't care if he cuts out my tongue, I still love him. I don't care if he impregnates me as a reward for doing his deeds, I still love him. 2,000 years of suffering could have ended if she had just used her powers to eradicate the Eldians. All the death and all the fighting could have ended. Eren also tells Armin that she needed Mikasa to release her. Don't know what that means. Eren and Mikasa are a reflection of Fritz and Ymir, and I guess Mikasa had to do the unthinkable to Eren, which is kill him, like she did to Fritz. They showed an image of her holding her children, and Fritz has a spear driven through his chest, or his right pectoral muscle. But I was told that after she died, protecting Fritz, that he chopped her up and makes his children eat her so that her Titan powers will be passed down through generations. This is the man she loves, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on, Armin mentions how Eren would feel if Mikasa were to move on and be with somebody else. He says, I don't know. This is where I believe we got turned off by the show. Character assassination incoming. Armin decks Eren in the face. In the face!
Yes! In the face!
He yells at Eren for brushing off Mikasa and saying that she valued him over everything else in the world. He makes a joke about him possibly getting with Mikasa, and then he starts to cry, saying that he wants to be with Mikasa, he wants to be her one and only, he wants to be with her and Armin and everybody else. And I say, bullshit. Okay, throughout the show, Eren seems annoyed with Mikasa, constantly following him around and at times treating him as if he was her son. It would start to annoy me, so much to the point that I would put myself in Eren's shoes and imagine being around someone who kept following me around, babying me at times. It would be nice to have someone in your corner, someone that really cared for you, but goddamn, I need some space. You're smothering me. Can I take a piss without you standing outside the bathroom? Not saying she did that, but I'm just using that as an example. I could see her doing that. Also, season 1, 2, and 3 became a little annoying. Every season was a rescue Eren mission. and Mikasa would fly off the handle, think irrationally, be willing to put herself on the line to save Eren. If Mikasa got kidnapped, I'm sure Eren would get upset, but I don't think he would be as emotionally distraught as Mikasa would get whenever Eren would get in trouble. He seemed to be more concerned with Armin at times more than Mikasa. So Mikasa kills him. After she beheads him, she grabs his head, kisses it. Like, okay. The first time I saw that, I was like, okay. That was not a perfect time to have them lock lips because there was no intimacy in their relationship. Even if it was, it still would have been weird. Mikasa should have just stood there, held Eren in her arms, and cried over his death. And in the end credits, as humanity is advancing and there's still war going on, Mikasa, who is apparently dead, is laying next to Eren's little tombstone, and she has his scarf still around her neck. So that tells me she never moved on from Eren, and she went back to not thinking for herself. Because in season 4, she was finally starting to think for herself, and it looked like she was doing things on her own accord. But that all gets wiped away when Mikasa is still wearing that fucking dirty ass scarf and is laying next to Eren's grave. I think she got buried in it. I'm sure it in the manga, or maybe they showed it in the credits that she was buried in the ground. And I missed it. I'm not a big Mikasa fan, like a lot of people are. I think there's a lot of Mikasa lovers out there, and for the guys, I'm sure they love Mikasa for the wrong reasons. Fan service. As far as her character is concerned, I'm just not feeling Mikasa because she is too annoying with her overprotection and constantly wanting to be around Eren all the time. It's like, let the man breathe. Do your own thing for once. There shouldn't have been a love angle between Eren and Mikasa. And if you want to put Eren and Mikasa with someone, if you have to, put Mikasa with John and put Eren with Historia. Now the confession gets more confusing and ridiculous. Eren tells Armin that he murders 80% of humanity because he can see into the future, and nothing he tried to do to change that worked. Tells Armin the reason why he flattens the world is because he could see the outside view. He didn't know why he did it, and then he says he knows why because he's an idiot that got his hands on power. Then Armin says he understands why he wanted to flatten the earth. Ends up thanking Eren for the view as well. Then there's this uncomfortable pause between the two. Armin is the one who's making it uncomfortable with this face like he's about to kiss Eren. like they're just about to lock lips. But instead kissing, they hug. And when it's all said and done, Armin is saying, "I'll see you in hell, good buddy. Best buddies forever." Armin gave me Mikasa vibes during this scene. It seemed that he was okay with the rumbling and willing to forgive Eren as long as he could still be good buddies with Eren. So they kind of destroyed Armin's character here as well. And the more I think about it, Mikasa, Eren, and Armin could go down as being 3 of the weakest protagonists in fiction of all time. Oh, and I almost forgot that Eren mentions that he sent the Titan that devoured his mother. He sent it away from Bertolt to protect Bertolt, to keep the Titan away, and send it to his mother. So did he go back in time to little Eren and send the Titan to his mom? Or when he wakes up in the first episode, does he see how everything plays out? And during the whole show, he's acting out every single thing that happens? It's confusing. The ending was bad. Now that I'm talking about it, it was bad. All that build up, seeing all the characters go through all that death and struggle for it to happen because Ymir was, I don't know if weak is the right word. I do consider women who willingly choose bad partners to be weak, and I'll maybe give them the benefit of the doubt that they're mentally unstable. Maybe they have daddy issues. 2,000 years of despair could have been avoided if she had just used her Titan powers and destroyed Fritz. But instead she fell in love with Fritz. And Eren not turning out to be the villain I thought he was. Now this is what I would have wanted, okay? This is what I would have wanted to happen. The first 3 seasons, you're on Eren's side. In the first episode, you see his home get destroyed, you see his mother get killed. And he's the protagonist who was built up to save the day. You see him want freedom, you see him yearning for a life outside the walls. He wants to see life outside the walls. You see him be emotionally distraught constantly when he constantly loses his comrades, the people who he builds bonds with in the show, and then being portrayed by Reiner and Bertolt and even Annie. And rarely do I see animes or any sort of fiction where it looks like the main character, who was beloved by lots of people, turn his or her back on them. And usually when it does, oh, he's doing it because his friends are in jeopardy, and if he doesn't do what the bad guy says, the bad guy will kill his friends and blow up his home or whatever, or he's being controlled or manipulated. It's all an act, it's not real. So I thought in season 4, I was going to get that, right? Eren learns the truth about Titans and Eldians and what he is. He learns the truth about the outside world. It's not what he thought it would be. Eldians are being turned into Titans, and the Marlians are using the Titans to slaughter his people. They've been slaughtering them for years. And he also finds out that the outside world hates Eldians for what happened when King Fritz was still alive. So he learns about that. He's angry. There's a lot of hatred brewing inside of him, and so now he wants to destroy the world. He wants to get revenge for his people. So he initiates the rumbling. And before he initiates the rumbling, he talks to Armin and Mikasa. He beats the hell out of Armin. He hurts Mikasa with his words. And I thought that was great. That was a great layer to add on his villain arc, or so I thought. But that would have been great. And so you have Eren initiate the rumbling. You have Eren keep his friends alive because he wants to be defeated by them. Reiner figures it out. He wants to be beaten because at some point he won't be able to handle all that death and all that bloodshed, because there are people out in the world who don't know anything about Titans and Marlians and Eldians. And when he's talking to Armin, he tells Armin, I did it because once I found out the truth, I had so much hatred in me. I wanted revenge. I wanted to avenge my people. I did it because I had nothing but hatred inside me once I found out the truth. Simple. And then before that, though, he takes the power from Ymir forcefully. And while he's taking the power from her, he's ridiculing her, saying that you are weak for having all this power, but yet you didn't use it to set yourself free from King Fritz because you were in love with a murderer. So you're just as bad, if not worse, than Fritz. And this power is being wasted on you. It's been wasted on you for over 2,000 years. You know, that would have been fine. That's what I would have wanted. Him starting the rumbling because he's filled with hatred and he wants to get back at the outside world. Simple. Not because I did it because I'm an idiot. Now Eren's character is ruined because he comes off as a person who is just flawed. Anybody who has power can be an idiot with it. He doesn't come off as a character that stood by his convictions. Man, this show, everything leading up to that final moment, it just kills it now. It just feels like a waste. Imagine what Eren would feel like if he was alive and found out the truth. All the sins that he committed to help save humanity. Because Ymir was in love with a psychopathic, murdering king. Now, does the ending ruin it to the point to where I don't want to see the show ever again? I've heard people say that too. For me personally, no. There are still some good things about this show. There's still some iconic moments. Season 1 is my favorite season. And if I were to go back and rewatch the show, I would just fast forward through the last part and act as if it didn't happen, okay? What I wanted actually happened. That's how I'll treat it. And that's how I think everyone else should treat it. Just fast forward through the last few parts and skip to the part to where Armin and Eren and Mikasa, who are reborn. I like that little touch, by the way, when they advertise it as a movie, which wasn't really a movie. They just pasted together the first and second parts and called it a movie. But I like what they did at the ending, the very ending, when the reborn versions of Eren and Armin and Mikasa are at the theater. I like that. I like that little touch. But all in all, yeah, it's what went from a great show feels like a good show, or maybe an okay show because of how it ended. Please like and subscribe. Tell me your thoughts. That is it. I am out.